I'm your friendly neighborhood Web-Warrior Fanatic, and today we'll be ranking every single player card in the Marvel Champions Fear No Evil expansion. Huge shout outs to Fantasy Flight Games for including me in the content creator program, so I got to see all these unreviewed cards right here, which we will be ranking first. But yeah, a really cool video that I want to do for you guys is just talking about every single card here. And you guys know I love doing tier lists, so this would be the perfect format for me to evaluate and talk about every single card from Daredevil's cards, Echoes cards, and then all the aspect cards that were also in the box. So huge shouts to all of you guys. Thank you so much to everyone who watches, who subscribes, likes the videos, all that stuff. It's all thanks to you guys that I can do something awesome like this. So yeah, huge shout to y'all, and let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. And then super quickly here, let's break down the tiers. So I have the S tier, which are top tier cards. I think that these cards are like cream of the crop. Even for hero cards, they're like some of the best cards in the game of Marvel Champions, and not all heroes have S tier level cards. Some like a Nick Fury or like an Aunt May or Backflip, these are cards that would go in this tier. For the A tier here, these are cards that are above your average hero cards. So they can also be aspect cards in this tier, but it's just really good cards that every hero would want in their kit. The B tier here, I have the hero card level. So hero cards are on average better than C tier cards, like better than aspect cards. So these are just like your standard regular hero cards, like very solid for sure and much better than aspect cards, but nothing like spectacular, but still really good to be here. And for C tier here, we have your regular aspect card level. So the exact same thing, but for aspect cards instead of for hero cards. Not all aspect cards will go here because some are undertuned and some are better, and they're better, they might make it to the B tier in like the hero card level. And then D tier, we have the undertuned cards. These cards, I think, are basically like not really playable unless you have like a very specific or a niche situation where you're like building around it or building a deck around that. They're not going to be the best cards, especially by themselves, but you can get value out of them if you build around it. But even then, they're not going to have the most value. So the first card here is Karen Page. And guys, we were entirely correct. Karen Page is a Daredevil support that has not been reviewed yet in Daredevil's kit. And she is a one-cost support here. She's a persona support. As an action, you can use it in hero form or in alter ego form. You'd exhaust Karen Page and shuffle one Daredevil card from your discard pile into your deck. So that's pretty good. We've seen a lot of hero cards with similar effects where you can shuffle any one of your identity-specific cards back into your deck. Usually your hero cards are your best cards anyways, so to get like Daredevil's, his attack event or like his story events back into the deck is going to be good. But there's another effect here. If you are an alter ego, you can draw a card. What would you boys do without me? Holy cow, that is a really good card, guys, because there's a lot of, one cost alter ego supports that can just basically draw you a card. But to have that add effect here that you can still use in hero form makes it a very good card, because literally every single turn you'll be shuffling in a card, from your discard pile back into your deck, whatever Daredevil card that you want the most, you shuffle that back in, and then if you're an alter ego, you can draw a card on top of that. So yeah, if it was just this ability here, it would probably be like, in the B tier, just a regular, hero card level. If it was just a second ability, that's still like a good hero card level, also in the B tier. But to have them both combined here for only one cost, that's very good, guys, because now we're also delaying whenever we deck out and we're getting our best cards back in, whatever card you need at the moment, right? If you want your attack event to do more damage, you shuffle that one back in. If you want more thwarting because the scenario, needs more thwarting, you shuffle the thwart event back in, right? So very, very cool to see this card here. So yeah, it's way better than the B tier. It's going to go here in the A tier above regular hero card levels. I think it's a super solid card here, and really cool to see Karen Page in the game working with Matt Murdock and Foggy. So yeah, that's the first card here in Daredevil's kit that was not previewed yet. The other card in Daredevil's kit that we had not known about is Sister Maggie. It's its mom. Crazy. I did not expect this at all. I don't think anyone called this for this card to be in Daredevil's kit. So it's the numbered 13 out of 15 card. We have Karen Page. She's the 11 out of 15. So I was thinking that this would be a upgrade, but it's not. He has another support here. This one's a little bit more expensive, being a 2-cost support. It's also a persona support. So yeah, Daredevil's got 3 persona supports in kit. He's got Foggy Nelson, he's got Karen Page, and Sister Maggie. So Sister Maggie here is very reminiscent of Dr. St. Clair, a protection card. So she gives Matt Murdock +3 recovery as just a constant effect. So he goes up to 6 recovery. And if you guys have seen the Netflix show for Daredevil, I mean, obviously she nursed him back to health. She gives him all these band-aids and everything to heal him back up. But 6 recovery is insane for Daredevil. I mean, I get that she's helping him out, but like I don't know. I feel like his like, canon, recovery isn't like that great because he's just a regular human. He gets beat up all the time. But I guess he is used to getting beat up and used to like having to deal with that. So crazy to see that. Way better than downtime, because there's another response here. After you recover, so after you make a base recovery, you can discard a status card from your identity. That's pretty good. And it says here, as both a Catholic nun and Matt's mother, Sister Maggie often nurses her son back to health. And yeah, I mean, really crazy to see this card right here. Yeah, you can discard a status card. It's basically Dark Sinclair, except Dark Sinclair, you have to spend a mental resource every single turn to trigger the ability to get the healing and to get the status card off your identity. This one, you do not have to spend a resource, so you just get it in play, and each time you recover, you're healing for 6. A difference though is that with Dark Sinclair, you can just exhaust her and she'll heal Daredevil up even if he's already exhausted himself, right? So we talk about a card like Aunt May from the core set, like Peter Parker's card, Aunt May. If you just exhaust Aunt May, you can heal Peter Parker even if Peter Parker himself is already exhausted. For this card right here, Daredevil does have to actually exhaust himself to make the base recovery himself, because although he gets a plus to recovery, he's not healing if he can't actually recover it himself. But the thing is, in Daredevil's kit, he has a really easy way, on-demand ways to ready with his on-demand ready card, the Man Without Fear, and he's also got acute tactility to also give him ready, so he can easily ready back up. He can even ready up an alter ego with the acute tactility. So yeah, I think it's gonna be no problem for him to use this type of effect here to get full value out of the recovery and healing for 6 each time, and be able to flip back up and then ready back up immediately. I think that's going to be pretty good. Really helps out his kit with all the damage that he's going to be taking from his from Elektra and also from the Man Without Fear. So yeah, this card works perfectly in his kit, giving him that extra recovery. Very, very cool card. This is also an above average hero card here. I don't know which one's better, guys. Honestly, you can make the argument for either one of them. I think, oh man, the healing's really good. The draws, I'm gonna put the healing up higher because I think the healing is harder to like get by. And I think for other heroes, this card may not be as good, right? Like if this was for Peter Parker Spider-Man, I think it's not as good because Peter Parker doesn't have any other ways to ready like in kit. But for Daredevil, it really synergizes with him, and because he's taking damage with other cards in his kit, I'm having recovery is really useful for him. So I think I'm gonna put it above Karen Page, but you could definitely make the argument for both. Sister Mag is a really good card. Yeah, for sure. Super cool to see these 2 cards here rounding out Daredevil's kit. Okay, next let's go over the 2 unreviewed Echo cards that we haven't seen yet. So we got Choreography here. It's a 1-cost upgrade. It's a skill card. As an action, you can exhaust this card, so exhaust the upgrade, and you shuffle 1 aspect or 1 basic event from your discard pile into your deck. So basically the exact same thing as Karen Page, except Karen Page is helping Daredevil shuffle his best cards. Echo's best cards, actually, I guess the aspect cards aren't technically her best cards, but she wants to be using those aspect cards and basic cards because that's what she's, imitating and doing her thing. So, yeah, it's helping her basically do more of what she wants to do. And if you're in alter ego form, draw 1 card. So, literally the exact same thing as Karen Page. I would say, though, okay, this is still obviously definitely an A tier level card as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and just drop it up here in the A tier because it's almost the exact same effect as Karen Page. Having 2 effects in one and having the action be usable in hero form and alter ego, that's really good. But I think this card here is not as good as Karen Page because I think it's hard to come around on those hero cards, and getting them shuffled back in is a lot more useful, right? Because Karen Page, you can shuffle in any Daredevil card, including like Elektra, right? So like you can even get his identity specific ally, you can get any upgrades if they're milled out, right? You can get him back into the deck. Like if Ultron turns one into like drone minions, you get him back into your deck, which is really nice. So I think Karen has a 1-up on choreography here, but definitely still a really good card here for Echo. It says here, Maya uses her physical gifts to express herself and dance. Yeah, great card here for Echo. Echo has another card here called the Res, 1-cost support. As an alter ego action, you exhaust the Res and heal X damage from Maya Lopez, where X is the highest cost among cards tucked under her. Really cool. We're seeing another healing type of card here. Very similar to the 2 unreviewed cards for both Echo and for Daredevil. Sorry guys, Sesame is messing around the laptop back here, so hopefully she didn't shake too much or make too much noise there. But Yeah, so I'm being to heal X damage equal to highest cost cards. You want to always keep like a high cost tuck card underneath Echo and then get her to heal that amount. It's getting pretty nice. So this would incentivize her to have like more, high cost events. If you have like a 4 cost event underneath Echo, this heal for 4, essentially the same as Aunt May. If it's like less than that, like a 3 cost card, you heal for 3, which is not as good, but still useful. And what's nice about this is that whenever you exhaust this card, Echo does not have to be right up herself. So even if Echo is exhausted, you can exhaust this to get some healing from her if you feel down to alter ego. So similar to anime, I think anime is better because usually, I mean, 4 is kind of like the max of what you want to be healing. And you don't really need any more than that. If it's 3, it's, obviously not as good. And you want to kind of incentivize the player to like have more high costed cards underneath Echo if you want to get healing from her, right? I think before this, there's really good builds that you can do with Echo using like very low cost cards, like 0 cost and 1 cost cards, but you won't be able to really get advantage of the healing from that. 1 cost healing is not terrible, but obviously you want to get 4 from this. So yeah, cool to see this card here. The res is not a re-reservation or native nation, but a place for all tribes. So yeah, also another good card. I'm going to put this one be even behind choreography because I feel like, yeah, I mean, this card, it's nice to be using hero form or Artigo. It's kind of weird how they're like, how I kind of rank these here. I think that Sister Maggie is just so crazy. I think the res is one of the, I don't want to say worst or healing cards, but it is because it's so conditional, right? It's conditional based on like how you build your deck and what is the highest cost card that you can tuck underneath Echo here, right? So yeah, it's definitely not a bad card. It still goes in the A tier. I think that's a really good spot for hero cards to be like above the average hero card. Getting a healing card like this, I think is definitely above the average hero card. But yeah, I mean, if you get 8 May power from this, I mean, it's top tier, so it can definitely scale up if you have that 4 cost tuck card. But other than that, I think normally just gonna go here in the bottom A tier. All right, and that is it for the unreviewed hero cards here. So we had 2 Daredevil cards and 2 Echo cards that the community has not seen, and I think they're all really good cards that are worth the wait going into the A tier here for me. Okay, let's go over now the next cards. Whoops, what did I do there? So the first Justice card that we did not know about is actually a reprint here. Chance Encounter, and it has Daredevil's art on it. I think we did it in a prediction live stream that we called that they will be reprinting Chance Encounter, and really cool to see this card. This only came in Vision's Hero Pack prior to this, so this is a really good card in Marvel Champions, so it's awesome to see it reprinted here. So I put it here for the C tier. It's regular aspect card levels, right? So this card is definitely at least a regular aspect card, but I think it's better than a normal aspect card, right? It's a 0 cost upgrade, so it's free to play. You attach to a side scheme, and as interrupt when an attached side scheme is defeated, you can search your deck and discard power for an ally, add to your hand. So for a hero like Cable, who's constantly clearing side schemes almost every single turn, this card essentially is like an ally tutor, right? It replaces itself with an ally card. It's top tier for Cable, S tier, even better than these cards, right? But I think for the regular hero, I think it's still an above average aspect card. Like, it's not going to go here in the C tier. I think it's on the level of regular hero cards. And hero cards are, usually curved better than aspect cards. So I think if aspect cards are better than their regular self, then it'll go here like in the B tier. Obviously, if like a basic card or aspect card is like amazingly good, like better than hero cards, like Nick Fury, the ally, for example, that will still go in the top tier levels. This is just kind of like the baseline of what we expect from an aspect card. And Chase Encounter is definitely better than that. But it's pretty conditional, right? You don't want to include this in every single deck. Only if you are playing a deck with a bunch of either player side schemes or you're tutoring a bunch of side schemes, putting it in play, and you want to throw a lot from side schemes, that's really good. But obviously, if there's no side scheme in play, this card isn't that good. I have built this card in a lot of decks, so definitely a very cool card that I like a lot. In terms of how much I like this card, I mean, I think it's one of my favorite cards in the game. It's going to go in S tier. But in terms of just like the power of it, I think it's a little bit niche, right? So yeah, it can sometimes be here, and sometimes it could definitely be this high. But yeah, we're going to put it here in the B tier for how strong I think it is. Next, we have Ghost Rider here. A new Justice ally, Johnny Blaze, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points, the Midnight Sun trait, guys. A lot of people are expecting Midnight Suns to be the next wave after Fear and Evil. I have no clue. I kind of want Fantastic Four, but I would not be mad to see the Midnight Suns here. So let's interrupt. When Ghost Rider attacks an enemy, you can spend a energy resource, or you can spend 2 energy resources if the enemy is the villain to confuse that enemy. So basically, he's similar to Psylocke. He's a little bit cheaper to play, but you can spend resources to confuse. That's crazy. My penance, stare, reviews all of your past sins. Great way to really confuse. I think the villains where you get the most value. You don't really want to be using this card to confuse minions because minions, I just wipe them, right? He's already doing 2 damage to the minion. Maybe if you're playing like a hero with 2 attack, you can do 2 more damage with your basic activation and just kill the minion. So like really when I look at this card, it's really just spending 2 energies to confuse a villain, right? So it's pretty expensive, but it's nice to have an on-demand way to confuse. It's definitely a card that like fits in the balance of the game. I think that the aggression Solid Ally is better than this card though. Yeah, so like they're both tied into attacking. But her attack, she has a psionic counter to like be able to do that. Obviously, if you can heal up Ghost Spider, or sorry, Ghost Rider, I mean, if you can heal him back up, then like you can use him endlessly and get more confused. But like spending so many resources every single turn, I think it's a good card. I think it's a good card for sure, but I think that there are better allies in the game. Like, I think that Dazzler is better. I think that Psylocke is better. So, yeah, unfortunately, where are we going to put this card? Is this like on the tier of like a hero card identity specific ally? So we look at like in the core set, Captain Marvel has the Spider-Woman allies. She's a 3-cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, and 2 hit points. And when you play her, when she enters play, you confuse villain. I think that's better. She just higher tempo, right? I think Ghost Rider has potential if you really want to focus on him and build around him. He could definitely be, higher tier, probably going into the A tier. But I think like his initial tempo is a little bit lower. You have to pay 3 resources to play him, and then 2 more resources to get to confuse on the turn you play him. And he needs to be able to attack the villain on top of that. So this might be a hot take. This might be a hot take here, but I think he just goes in your regular aspect card level. I think that there are better versions of him. Even in Justice with Dazzler, whenever she's played, you can get the confuse off. But it's cool to see a way for Justice to confuse through an ally in the current environment. So I think that that's really cool. But I think if you have access to the whole legacy card pool, there are better alternatives. But it's a really cool card, and the art here looks amazing. Okay, next card here that is Injustice that we have not seen before is Legal Trouble. It's a 1-cost upgrade, and there's a star here for discount 1. So basically, if you have an attorney or the police trait, whenever you play this card, you get a 1-cost discount. So you're playing Daredevil or She-Hulk and you're in alter ego form, or you're playing Tiger in alter ego form. This card is a 0-cost upgrade, and you just play for free. You attach to a minion, max 1 per minion, and the attached minion gets -2 scheme. It says here, you got a permit for that, police officer. So yeah, this card, okay. This card, it's not terrible. So the way that I'm going to evaluate here is, optimally, if you're playing an attorney character for a 0-cost upgrade, like it's nice for Daredevil to get upgrades on enemies for a 0 cost in Justice, but like we don't really care for the minion to have like -2 scheme here, right? Most minions only have 1 scheme anyway, so we're like losing value from that. And then like, I mean, for playing a card out of my hand, hopefully I can like just pay more cost for it and like kill the minion, right? So like, it is nice you can equip this to like an elite minion, right? So if there's an elite minion that has abilitiness, this is really good for that. If you cannot kill it in the first turn and you want to flip down. But usually I'm not really flipping down with minions anyways. I think that this card is definitely going to be pretty niche. There are going to be situations where like if you like, are playing a game and you're like, okay, I really need to flip down against, this elite, minion, then you could give it to the minion, right? If you have like an elite Thunderbolt, it's really good for that. But still, even -2 scheme, they might still get like a 3 booster and still add a bunch of threat to the main scheme. So, it's not terrible, but it's definitely what I would expect from a regular aspect card. And if you're actually paying 1 cost for this, I think it's not good. I think you want this to be a 0-cost card, so it's really only good for attorney and police traded cards, and only in alter ego. So yeah, I almost want to say it's undertuned, but I'm gonna put it. If it's 1 cost, it's undertuned. If it's 0 cost, I think we can sneak it up here. Oh man. Okay, let's put it here because unfortunately, I think there's not gonna be a lot of well, right now in the game, I mean, not in the future. I don't know about the future, but right now in the game, there's not a lot of attorneys. There's not a lot of police characters. Only 3 in the whole entire game. She-Hulk, Daredevil, who's coming out, and Tiger. So, yeah, most of the time you're paying 1 cost. Even for those 3 heroes, if you're in hero form, they don't have these traits. So you're going to be paying the 1 cost for it. So it's kind of like an alter ego only card for it to be, like, decent. It could definitely be here if you want to build around it, but I think in the correct situation. But I think most of the times for most heroes, and even for like Daredevil, like if you're in hero form, I think it's a little bit undertuned, unfortunately. But cool to see I've been saying cool to see these cards because they're all really unique type of cards that aren't that bland, right? They all have like a different unique flair to them and something that we kind of have not seen the exact thing of in Marvel Champions before. So yeah, definitely cool to see this added to the game. All right, the next card that we got here. Okay, this card is pretty fire. So it's called Movement Shadow. It's a 2-cost upgrade in the Justice aspect, skill traded. Discount 1 if you're a martial artist or spy. So you have the martial artist or spy trait. This card is only 1 cost to play. Okay, it's a temporary card, another temporary card here. Max 1 per player. As a response, and it is a thwart activation here whenever you trigger this response. After you play a card, including this one, remove 1 threat from a scheme. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Whenever I first saw this card, I missed the temporary keyword here, and I thought that it was just, forever, which would be bonkers. But yeah, so a cool thing about this is that it is a super easy way for you to remove a confused, and it incentivizes you because it's a thwart here, right? So basically, if you're confused and you play this card here, the response is the effective card. It is not canceled. The actual card itself is not like an event that gets canceled if you're like confused, right? So you can play this card, and the response is after you play a card, including this one, you remove it from the scheme. So if you play this and you're confused, you just take off that confused stats immediately because that 1 threat removal is considered a thwart here because it has a thwart rule right here. And each time you play other cards, during this round, each time you play a card, you can ping a threat off of a scheme. And it's considered a thwart, right? So if you need stuff where your hero is thwarting, this counts for that. This is a really cool card that you can definitely have 3 copies of in a deck because whenever you play it, you can like go for some mass thwarting that turn. If you play other thwart events on top of this, you get more additional thwart removal. Really good high burst thwarting and really good for martial artists because they want to like evenly remove threat to where like they remove the last threat on the scheme. And this is how you do that because it's only picking off 1 threat at a time. So yeah, I think okay, let's evaluate this card if you don't have the martial arts or a spy trait. So as just a 2-cost upgrade, I think it's already going to be like tippy top of like aspect cards from like what we see. I think that if you are a martial artist or a spy, to have this be 1 cost, I think it's a hero card level. And I think that despite like whether it's a 1 cost or 2-cost card, there are so many cool ways to build this card to really maximize its value. You can even play Justice deck without any thwart events and have this be your main like source of thwarting. Although it only lasts 1 round because you do have discard it with a temporary keyword at the end of the round. So that's at the end of the villain phase, you have discard card. But until then, as long as you're playing a bunch of cards, you're getting so much value from this. And Daredevil in particular, I mean, you have his art here on the card. But whenever you're playing your Daredevil senses from your sense deck, you get to ping a threat off of scheme. This card is basically made for Daredevil. I think for Daredevil, it's probably going to be above even some of his hero cards, possibly even S tier. But I'll say here for like the regular hero, I think it's a solid card. It's like on par with like what you expect to see from like an identity specific card in a hero's actual kit. Definitely above the level and aspect card. As for do I think it's better than Chance Encounter? Oh man. They're both very, very powerful cards. They're both very good. I think that they both have potential to go higher. I'm going to leave Chance Encounter on top, though. I'm going to leave Chance Encounter on top. But you can definitely make the case for Movement Shadow to be better. Yeah, this is a very, very cool card. All right, next card here. So those are all the Justice cards that have not been previewed. We only have 1 protection card that we haven't seen. We've seen all the other protection cards in Fear and Evil. This is a 1-cost upgrade called Standalone. Max 1 per player. It's a condition traded card. Here, interrupt when an enemy attacks you. Before any defender is declared, if you do not control any allies, you can exhaust this card standalone to rev your hero. So this is the same time window as Spider-Man's Spider Sense here, right? When an enemy attacks you. So that is like one of the best timing windows where it's like, before the boost card is reviewed, before any defender is declared. That's good. However, for a card like this, I would have actually preferred it to be like a response, like after you defend. So the way this card works is, let's say you're facing an enemy and then they attack you, right? Like the villain attacks you, right? Then if you are readied up, right? You know, whenever the villain attacks you, this card doesn't do anything because you're missing time window of when you want it ready, right? It's, let's say you defend, and let's say like in the encounter step, you reveal like an assault and the villain attacks you again. Then you can trigger this because the villain's enemy, when they attack you, you can now exhaust this card if you do not control any allies, and you can ready up your hero again, right? So it would be cooler if you could use this before the attack, so like it's more niche with that. But this card is insanely good against minions, right? You might even have an incentive to like keep a minion in front of you. You can play like a pin down on it, right? Because like if, let's say, you do have a minion in front of you, right, and then the villain attacks you, you exhaust to defend the attack, and the minion attacks you, you can ready up here because when enemy attacks, including a minion, if you do not have allies, you can just ready up your hero. You might not even want to defend against the minion. You can just take the minion's attack to the face, but now you'll be readied up here for the upcoming player phase, which it's going to be pretty useful. So this is actually a really cool card to see in protection. And I think it's, you know, it's a card where I don't think it's like insane overpowered, but I think that there's really good uses for this card. I think that despite that the time window was not preferred for me, there's really cool ways to build around this. So where did I put this? Oh, it's close. Is it going to be top of C tier? Or it's going to be like a hero card? Do I think this is... I'm going to put this... Oh man, I mean, you do have the restriction of like you can't control allies in order to trigger this, but it's an on-demand ready almost, right? Like the ready is contingent on that a villain attacks you while you're, or not a villain, an enemy attacks you while you're already exhausted. It's close. It's very close. I think I'm gonna put it in the regular aspect card level though. I don't think it's quite near the level of a hero card. I think that if it was like a response when an enemy attacks you, like after an enemy attacks you, can get the ready immediately. I think that will put it up here because then you don't really have to focus around and build around as much. You just get that straight up value from it. But I think with a card like this, you want to play a deck that like focuses more around this in order to get the full value. So it's a really good card. Probably going to be at the top of C tier here. Definitely what we expect from aspect cards, if not a little bit better, but not quite a level of the hero cards here. All right, and that's the only protection card that we have not seen yet. Next, let's move on to the basic cards here. So the first one we got from Daredevil's Precom. This is Contingency Planning. Okay, this card is really cool. Zero cost upgrade max one player. You may play the upgrade tucked here as if it were in your hand. So very similar to like Avengers Compound, but for upgrades. So the action, you can choose one upgrade in your hand that you can attach to a main or a side scheme. Tuck the upgrade here to a max of 1. So unfortunately, you only have one upgrade tucked here, but it's nice to have that on-demand type of upgrade that you can play whenever you want, right? Like we talked about with the chance encounter, maybe, you know, this upgrade right here, if there's no side scheme in play, like you can't do anything with it. Well, you have contingency planning in play, you can tuck the chance encounter to this contingency planning and then wait for a side scheme to come out and then play the chance encounter as if it were in your hand. And as a zero cost upgraded play, you know, it's definitely not bad. I think it's not amazing though. I think it's what you expect from a regular aspect card. I think it's better than Ghost Rider, but I don't think it's as good as standalone here. But you could definitely build cool stuff with this. And if you're playing a hero like Daredevil or Cyclops that has upgrades that you can attach to minions or side schemes, like in their own identity-specific kit, this card becomes a lot better. Maybe like bottom of B tier or like top of C tier. But I think for the average hero, it's just a regular aspect card. Actually, if we're talking about for, you know what, for an average hero, I think we gotta drop it down. I think it's just your regular aspect card. Do I even drop it down under... No, it's still decent because you can still include aspect cards that you can tuck to minions or side schemes that you can tuck underneath this card, right? So, yeah, it's not bad. It's very good for Daredevil, very good for Cyclops, less good for heroes that aren't those heroes. But it's nice to get, like, an on-demand, like, +1 to your hand size, too, because you can always use it as a resource. So it's cool to see more cards like this. And, yeah, I really like this card for Daredevil in particular. Next, we have reprints here with different art for the energy genius, and where's the strength? And the strength here. So I believe that's Jessica Jones here on strength. We got Matt Murdock with the genius in court, the lore shenanigans, and we have Iron Fist here for energy. Yeah, I mean, these cards, I mean, no brainer, guys. You can include them all with every single deck. I put them in basically every single deck. I'm putting them all in the S tier, top tier cards. I mean, not much to say. They all go up here. I'm gonna put Genius in the top S tier because I feel like there's more cool stuff to do with Genius, and I like the art here with Matt Murdock being a lawyer. So these might be my new go-to of like the three basic doubles here because I'm really liking the art on here. Maybe I like mix and match them, but I definitely like the Genius here. This version of the Genius card with Matt Murdock. This one looks really cool. I still really like the Hulk for strength, but the Jessica Jones one here, that's pretty cool too. And the Iron Fist here for energy, that's pretty cool too. All right, all right, all right. So yeah, I mean, this is enough said. This is like an all include for almost every single deck. Next, let's move on to the next basic card, which is Stick here. So he is a 2-cost support, another Persona support, but he's a martial artist. So yeah, for some martial arts shenanigans here. Let's interrupt when when a friendly martial arts character uses a basic power, you can choose to either exhaust Stick, the character gets +1 to basic power for use, or the character gets -1 to the basic power, but then you can ready Stick. Okay, so where do you want value from this? Okay, so basically, Stick is helping you enhance your he's helping you enhance your basic activations for a martial arts character. If you have a martial artist character, and you want to perfectly, because martial artists, we know from developers from Fantasy Flight Games, they told us that they want martial artist characters to perfectly remove threat or perfectly defeat minions without like excess damage or excess threat removal. Stick is like the perfect card for that. It makes sense. He's like the best martial artist type of like thing to help you kind of like fit in exactly what you want. It's only for your basic power, but you can kind of choose to have get +1 to your basic powers or -1 to your basic powers, and then you can ready up Stick with that, or you can exhaust them here. I think where you'll get most value from Stick is if you're playing a high player count game with like 4 players and you have like more than one martial artist hero, and then you're like constantly having them +1 -1 and it hit exactly what you want to do when you're defeating minions, clearing off side skins to just like have everything not have excess damage or threat removal. I think that's where Stick's gonna get the most value. I think in True Soul he gets less value because you really need ally martial artists to really take advantage of getting the ready and getting the exhaust like over and over again, right? If you're just using this, once per turn, exhausting Stick to get +1 for his use, it's still a good card. Like it's essentially the same as like a combat trainer or something like that, right? Because it's a 2-cost type of card. You do have to exhaust Stick though, so if Stick is already exhausted with like a Magneto villain, exhausting our supports and upgrades, that's not going to be as good. But I mean, it's essentially a like the aerial card that gives you +1 to your basic power. It's for martial artists, so a great way for martial artists to basically get +1 to their basic stats. So we're going to evaluate this card if you're playing a martial artist hero, because I think it's kind of unfair to evaluate this if you're not playing martial arts. Obviously, it's under 2, it does nothing if you're not playing martial artists. But if you are playing martial arts hero, I think this is like on par of a hero card. I think just having no, I guess maybe not, because like the thing is, so if you're playing Daredevil and you're 2/2/2, right, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, basically if you ever defend or attack or thwart, you can exhaust Stick to get +1 to the power. However, if you ready up, Stick is going to be exhausted here. So, like, you won't be able to get another +1. You can -1 to yourself, to ready Stick for the next raid to get another +1. But, like, yeah, I think it's going to go into regular aspect card level, but at the tippy top here. I think there's ways to abuse it, but I think that, yeah, it's a good card. It's, like, on par of, like, I would say it's pretty similar to, like, a combat training or, like, an armored vest or something that just gives you that static +1 to your stats. And there's times where it's worse, and there's times where it's going to be better. But really cool to see Stick in the game, though. Yeah, I mean, I keep on saying that. It's very cool to see Stick in the game. And then the last Unreal card from Fear and Evil is we got the Superpower Training here. You guys already know what it does. It's a reprint here. It's still the sideways here, but 3 per player threat side scheme. It costs 1 to play, and whenever you clear it off, every player can search your deck and discard power for any identity-specific upgrade put into play. We call this, guys. We're expecting a Superpower Training side scheme reprint in Fear No Evil. We got one right. This card, very good. Top tier. Top tier. Oh man, it's tough. It's tough to say. I'm gonna put it. I don't think it's quite top tier, but I think it helps unleash a lot of heroes. At the same time, oh man, I think build support is better though, right? Because build support helps you get non-identity specific supports as well. This is only for identity specific upgrades. But like, okay, I'll say this. For some heroes, it's top tier. You really need that identity specific upgrade. For a lot of heroes, it's not going to be as good. If you like don't have one, right? Like for Spider-Man, you can get a webbed up with this, which is like nice, but like the webbed up will go away. So I don't usually run this card with like a Peter Parker Spider-Man. For Daredevil, it's good to get out his Man Without Fear upgrade, which is like really good. So like I think you could definitely make the case either way. I'm gonna put this at the bottom of A tier. I'm gonna put it at the top A tier. I think it's useful. Ah, man, you could, because like if you just draw your upgrade and this card's not as good, right? Because then you just play your upgrade, right? So if I draw, the Man Without Fear on turn one, I can just play it instead of like waiting for super hard train to get it out. But it helps me get it out earlier if I need to. Some heroes will have trouble thwarting it. Let's put it at the bottom here. Let's put it at the bottom. I think that it's better in multiplayer. Not as good in True Soul, but still great for True Soul for heroes that really want it. But definitely dependent on like who you're playing and if your hero has that key upgrade or that they want to get out. Like Ant-Man and like his helmet, for example, or like Quicksilver and a friction and resistance. But yeah, all right, guys. These are it. These are all the unreviewed cards that we got. There were 15 cards in Fear and Evil, 15 player cards that we have not seen yet, and these are all of them. So this is my personal rankings for all of them. It's just my personal opinion. And yeah, we didn't get any top tier like game breaking cards. Obviously, we did get reprints of the basic doubles, which are game breaking in a way, but I don't think that any of these other cards are like that crazy. But a lot of cool A tier level cards that are above your average hero card. So cool to see that in the game, and cool to see. Yeah, I did not expect to see a Sister Maggie here, Daredevil's mom, and we have Karen Page is this one right here. But yeah, I did not expect to see Sister Maggie. We did all expect Karen Page, but cool to see their abilities here, and I think they're very solid cards. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this portion of the video, guys, for the unreviewed cards. Next, I will be going over all of Daredevil's identity-specific cards. We'll go over Daredevil's Obligation and Nemesis set. Then we'll go over Echo's identity-specific cards, her Obligation and Nemesis set, and all the other cards in Fear and Evil, all the aspect cards and basic cards that I have not ranked here to rank every single card in Fear and Evil. This part of the video will be a little bit quicker than this earlier part, just because you guys have all seen these cards before. It's nothing new. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it here. Okay, so first we got the identity of Daredevil, and then his alter ego side right here. So let's do the alter ego first. 3 recovery, which is normal. 6 hand size, normal. 10 hit points. Okay, so already he's gonna go here in the B tier. And then the thing is, he has essentially no alter ego ability, right? He has a turning trait here, which isn't like the craziest trait to have. I think Genius is really good to have. And as a force control, when a sense upgrade lead play, you place on a bottom sense deck instead. So like, that's just like your basic effect for like sense. It doesn't really do anything else for you. We are going to rank all the sense upgrades here. So for the actual identity card, we're not going to evaluate too much of what the sense cards does. I think that Matt Murdock goes at the bottom of the B tier. So basically, where I would put for like undertune, like for a hero card, is like in the C tier, is if they have like a hand size of like 5 or a hand size of like not 6 or like less hit points, right? That's where I would really like consider like, this is not like an average hero card, but he's got everything of what an average hero card wants, but not really having that ability puts him at the bottom. So definitely one of the weaker alter egos in the game Marvel Champions, but at least he has a 6 card hand size here, so he's not gonna go any lower than B tier. Next, we look at the hero version, Daredevil here. 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. So once again, for Daredevil here, he already has that elusive stat line. So he's gonna go probably in the higher part of hero cards just to have that and have the 5 card hand size and 10 hit points, right? Which is average. If we have less than that, then we might drop him, lower in the B tier or in the C tier. He has his action here, Superhuman Senses, to play the top card of the sense deck as if it were in your hand by paying its cost, and exact same force interrupt as he does in alter ego. So with this card right here, okay, we are going to evaluate all the senses, separately. I would prefer an ability that actually gives you like a +1, right? Like Spider-Man Spider Sense, you get a +1, you get to draw a card each time the villain initiates an attack against you. So like that's like a net gain. Daredevil doesn't necessarily get that, but this unleashes his actual like sense mechanic, which is like what his kit's all about. So this is actually a really good ability to have tied in with the sense cards. But how I'm going to evaluate that is I want to evaluate more of the sense cards doing their own thing, like separately. But this will still put him at the top of B tier for now, because you play the top card sense deck as if in your hand. That means you don't actually have to have the sense cards in your hand, which is one less effective resource. And you don't have to exhaust Daredevil, right? If you look at like Spell Master for Doctor Strange has the exact same ability, except you must exhaust Doctor Strange to do that. Daredevil can play it without that, and you can just spam all your sense cards. And with the 2/2 stat line, that's your ideal stat line. So he goes here at the top of hero cards. I think he's better than like Chance Encounter. You really want this type of stat line. It really affects the game to have like this type of hero card as your identity card in hero form. So definitely solid hero card here. Next, we're gonna look at all the sense cards. I'm not gonna go too much into them because we've made another video talking about these more heavily, but it's really good to have, this deck of 5 cards right here with your 5 senses. They're all sense traded and superpower traded, and they're all only 1 cost to play. But since you're in your sense deck, they're only 1 effective resource, right? If this card was in your hand, you actually have to pay a cost for it and lose the actual card in your hand that you could have spent as a resource. These cards, if they're in your sense deck, you won't really need them. They're not an opportunity cost of losing this resource that you could have spent elsewhere, right? They're just a card in your separate sense deck. So if you're evaluating these cards, we're going to basically evaluate them as if they're all 0 cost cards. And as 0 cost upgrades, they're all really good. And I think they're all top tier, S tier level cards. And how I'm going to rank them, I think the acute tactility is the best one, because this one you attach to enemy or scheme. If you defeat it, then you can ready up your identity. That's going to be the most valuable. And I think the next one here is going to be the enhanced olfaction. Same effect for like, oh wait, I ranked the wrong one here. Acute tactility, this one. This one is going to be a top S tier. I think enhanced olfaction is the second best one. Also similar effect. And then after you defeat the enemy or remove the last from the attached scheme, you can reduce the cost of next round you play by 2. So kind of like an economy card, right? So this is kind of like helping you with your economy. This is helping you ready up. Both really good cards. This one more tempo. This one to help you like build out and play like expensive ally or expensive support or upgrade. And next we got the heightened hearing. Also S tier is like your defense version for Daredevil. But that in the S tier, not as good as these cards in my opinion to give the enemy -3 attack. Then we got the radar sense. This is to do 3 damage to enemy after you attack. And this one is removed to that from that scheme after you thwart the attached scheme. This is a thwart activation. This is an attack activation whenever you're doing it because it has an attack and a thwart keyword. I think that how it's close because obviously thwarting is more valuable, but attacking is nice as well. It helps you spam your attacking. This one helps you spam your thwarting. They're all really good. You can really make the case for either one of them. For the attacking, defense, and thwarting one, I'm just putting in this order. I think that we'll probably want mass damage late game more, and to have this card be at the bottom of the sense deck and the only card left in your sense deck to be able to spam this over and over again, I think it's really going to be good to close out games. This will help you do massive thwarting. This is good for like defense protection type decks. So they're all S tier in my opinion. I think that this is the order of how I would put them, but you can make the case for swapping these 3. I think that these 2 are the best ones. I think acute tactility is clearly going to be the best one because it's good at all stages of the game. Alright, so that's it with Daredevil sense cards. Next, we're going to look at his attack event here. 1 cost event, hero action attack, do 3 damage to enemy. For each upgrade attached to enemy, you may do additional damage to it. No further questions, punk. Daredevil is saying that. So yeah, this is a really good card. It is minimum going to be here. And I think that for Daredevil, because you can put these upgrades on demand, like if you equip other upgrades like out of aspect to enemies, you can do even more damage, like with aggression, for example. But just in kit for Daredevil, he can equip 4 of these 3, and this one here to like a villain or a minion, and then he can hit for 7 damage with just 1 cost. So like even like 1 for 3, it's still like probably like here, like a good hero card, right? But to have this added effect here, to be able to do 1 for 4, I think it's gonna go like probably still here because these are really good. But it was 1 for 5. I think it jumps pretty high. 1 for 5 is insane. So 1 for 5 is like probably here, like better than almost every single hero card. And then like 1 for 6, I mean that's breaking this territory here. So I think I'm gonna put it. At the end of the day, it's an attack event, so I think that this stuff is more valuable to have. But yeah, it is tippy top of like attack events, right? For what you want from an attack event, it's really good. It has a burst damage when you're ready for that. You attach this stuff to like the enemy that you want to be bursting down. And then for like just like minion control, you can just pay 1 cost to do like 3 damage to the minion, or probably gonna be at least 4 because you at least put 1 of these on the minion, So yeah, good floor, but also good ceiling as well. And if you hit the ceiling, it can be like here or even higher. But like usually, I think it's a good round for like this A tier, really good spot for it. Let's put it in front of Superpower Training because I think Superpower Training will probably leave that at the bottom of A tier, just because I feel like you can make it's hard to like determine how strong the card is. But it's definitely a card that I want to use a lot, and it's going to be in the A tier. Okay, next Daredevil card is Daredevil's Billy Club. 1 cost upgrade, restricted, and he just gets straight up +1 attack. Okay. That by itself, okay, it was just that alone, how it goes in A tier. Like, just that alone, probably put it Uh, probably put it here. I'll probably put it here with just a +1 attack for 1 cost. That's insane. Like, 1 cost for +1 attack is really good. Then you have this whole ability right here to do 1 damage to enemy. Like, and it's not an attack. You can like whack an enemy over and over again, or you can give yourself aerial. So much flexibility. This doesn't have to exhaust to do. You just return to your hand. It's a good resource sink to do ping damage. I think it's S tier. I think it goes here. I think it's a top tier card. This card's amazing, guys. Yeah, this card, really strong card. Yeah, it's gonna go S tier. It has so much versatility. You can do damage with itself as a weapon. You can exhaust for other weapon stuff that wants you to exhaust weapons and still trigger the effects. You can gain aerial, giving you the aerial synergy, and it gives you +1 attack. Yeah, great card there. Next, we got Deposition. 1 cost event. It's Daredevil story event, but you can only use it in alter ego. So it's an alter ego Thor only. You can choose any upgrade from the sense deck. So one of these sense upgrades here. Play ignorance cost. Remove 2 that from the scheme. So, you know, it's not a bad card. I'm going to put it here in like your regular hero card in front of Matt Murdock. I think that because it's restricted to alter ego only, makes it a little bit more restrictive. And then like, you know, you at worst you're doing like 1 for 2 threat removal, but then like to get like a sense, you know, that is nice to be able to get a sense upgrade, and you can get your superior taste to do additional thwarting as well, which is nice. You can trigger that in alter ego. You know, comboing this with like something like acute tactic to get the ready up in alter ego could be really good. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good card. Putting it in the B tier works well with Daredevil, but not anything crazy. I don't think it's above your average hero card. Next, we got Elektra, Daredevil's identity-specific ally, 3 cost ally, 1 thwart 2 attack, 3 hit points. So like a solid sound for 3 cost ally. She's defender, martial artist traded. As a force interrupt, only in hero form when Elektra would take any console damage, Daredevil takes the damage instead. I always talk about how I love the flair of this card. I don't need your protection, Matt, but Matt's still going to be protecting her, taking damage for her. Works really well with his kit because he has up to 6 recovery with Sister Maggie, and a great ally to Voltron. So just her stats alone, she'd probably be like, maybe like here was just the stats alone because it's decent stat, but to be able to Voltron her, she's going to go in the hero card level. Is her tempo is not the best. Long term, you get a lot of good effect out of her. That's really good to have her like activate every single turn. But we want more of an initial tempo to put cards like here, right? Any card in the A tier, I think, or higher, usually has really good tempo, right? Even like the Billy Clubs, which is more of a build out card to get the +1 attack, is really good tempo for just have that +1 attack for like the whole entire turn. And you can return to do 1 damage as well. So yeah, Elektra, she's a good card. I'm gonna put her. Oof. Voltron builds just. I like Voltron builds. They usually just aren't as strong, so I'm gonna put her here behind this card here, which is really good tempo. For Justice. Okay. Next we have Focus the Senses. So Focus the Senses. That's Daredevil's identity-specific player's side scheme, and threat cannot be removed from the scheme except by Daredevil or Matt Murdock. So only Daredevil can throw it out. Always 4 threat, it doesn't scale. And when you clear this off, you can rearrange all your sense upgrades attached to whoever you want and move them around, or you can put any sense upgrades from your sense deck and just put them all into play. That's pretty good, man. Okay, I'm gonna put this. Man, I could definitely see this like, so like tippy top. There's gonna be times where it's S tier. I think that when you're ready, if you're like stuck in a situation or you want to really like set up for like a final kill or something, you can rearrange all the civilian and like play your attack event, right? So being able to move that all around, I think is really nice. There's times where it's top tier. I think that there's times where it's not going to be as useful, right? If you already have all your senses in play and you're like mid game or like early game, you don't really care about this as much if you already have it on who you want it to be attached to, right? So sometimes it's going to be like bottom here. Sometimes it can potentially be at the top here. I think I'll even it out. I'll put it. I think it's a solid hero card level type of card. Oh, but if you cheat all your sense cards, so okay, we're gonna put it here. We're gonna put it here. If it is like if you can cheat out like all your sense cards, like 3 or 4 or 5 senses, it's really good. If you're only playing 2 or 1 sense from your sense deck with this card, I think I would put it in a B tier. So we're just gonna put it here to average it out essentially. Yeah, all right. Next card here, we got Foggy Nelson, 2 cost persona support. RT action, exhaust him to remove 2 that from a scheme. Solid here, nothing crazy. He's like your average hero card. I don't think he's as good as Karen Page. He's only working alter ego and removing 2 threat is very good, but you know, only in alter ego. So where I put him here, to have that every single time you flip down is nice. It's essentially 4 threat removal, right? Because when you flip down, you take 2 threat off. Next turn, you start off an R2, you take another 2 threat off. I think here, I think he is in the tippy top of like hero cards. Yeah, tippy top there. Solid card, Foggy Nelson. All right, next we got the Living Lie Detector. 1 cost event. Action threat, remove 2 threat from a scheme. For each upgrade attached to that scheme, you may remove 1 additional threat from it. So similar to attack event, but for thwarting. But it's cool because you can use this card in alter ego and hero form. So I do really like that flair with it. It goes, I think it's better than Deposition. Even though Deposition has a higher ceiling, this has a lower ceiling, but I think the floor is higher. I think this is a good spot. I think Electro is better than this thwart event. Not a bad thwart event for sure. Well, if it's taking 1 for 3, it's gonna go like top range of hero cards. There are other hero cards that do similar things to that. 1 for 4 is probably gonna be here, right? 1 for 2, maybe like here, yeah, and then like and then like averaging all that out, I'm gonna put that right there, yeah. All right, next we got the Man Without Fear. Daredevil's identity upgrade his tower card. Hero action exhausted, do a damage to Daredevil, and you can choose. I probably am going to choose to get the ready here because that's going to be pretty good to have on demand ready on a 2/2/2 hero. Very powerful. The other option is to choose any upgrade from the sense deck and play ignoring its cost. So that's cool to be able to pick any sense card and play it, giving you much more versatility to round out Daredevil's kit. This is a great card for him. I think it's above hero cards because not all hero cards give you on demand ready. But for the on demand readies here, let me think. Yeah, it's gonna go here. It's gonna go here. Yeah, I feel like it goes here. So if you do not have to deal 1 damage to Daredevil each time you use this, I think it goes top tier. I just having any on-demand ready is top tier. But I think because you got to do a damage, yeah, we'll put it down a little bit. Because like it's not something that you want to spam as much, right? Like if you have the on-demand ready, use it every single turn no matter what. But I know that for myself, when I'm playing Daredevil, there might be turns where I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't want to take that 1 damage. The extra ready, like, is not going to be too crucial, right? If you already clear all that from the main scheme and you don't really want to worry about that, if all minions are gone, you don't want to just take a damage ready just to, like, do damage to the villain, right? First, if you don't have to take a damage for this, you just always ready, and you can either do damage to the villain or, like, whatever else, right? So the 1 damage is consideration, but obviously 1 damage is not that bad. It's just 1 damage, so it still goes at tippy top of A tier here. All right, next card, we got Nelson and Murdoch. 1 cost support. Response after an attorney character or support defeats a side scheme. Confuse enemy. On demand confuse is pretty good. This goes right here. Minimum. We're gonna see if I want to put it higher. Obviously, Star Wars Steady is not gonna be as good. Steady's not bad with this because like you have an on demand way to confuse. It has to be attorney characters, so it works really well for Matt Murdoch's kit because he's got. Well, he has attorney trait and alter ego, and then he's got Foggy Nelson, which is an attorney character. So really best for Matt Murdoch. Even She-Hulk, like, you know, her thwarting and alter ego is not that good. So like, yeah, for She-Hulk, she didn't have that support like Foggy Nelson, being able to remove a 2 threat every single turn without spending a resource, right? She has to spend a resource for that. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's a card for Matt Murdoch, so we evaluate it for Matt Murdoch, but the confuse is nice. Any enemy, I mean, it's already really high up, top A tier. I don't think it's quite S. You do have to defeat a side scheme. It's not removing the last. If it said remove the last one from a scheme, probably S tier. Because then you can like take off the last one from the main scheme. But it has to be a side scheme, so I think I put it here. I think here's a good spot. It's essentially an alter ego response. Because you cannot have attorney characters defeat a side scheme in hero form for Matt Murdoch. Because Foggy is alter ego action only. And then we don't have the attorney trait in alter ego. So it's essentially alter ego response, even though it says response here for Matt. So yeah, a great alter ego response though, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna go there. Okay. And the last card for Daredevil is we got Raising Hell here. 2 cost event. Hero action attack, deals 2 damage to each enemy for each upgrade attached to enemy, and 3 if you have the aerial trait. So this is the only aerial type of card for Daredevil, comboing with the Billy Clubs to give him aerial. Yeah, this is a really good card, guys. Not much to say. Helps you clear off minions. I think it is 2 cost. 2 cost, but you have to return ability clubs. You need upgrades attached. I'm thinking about putting it here, but I think at the end of the day, there's times where it will be top tier. right? If you get like the full damage on like 4 or 5 enemies or more than that, it's top tier. But I think most of the times it's gonna be like a good solid hero card. I put it right here. I like Electra more. I think I like Electra more. Um, it's a solid card. Let's put it right here. Yeah, I mean, the Thorian is more valuable, but it's nice to have that, like, area effect damage. No, I mean, its floor is low. It's really only good. It's niche. It's only good if you have, like, a bunch of minions engaged with you. But in those situations, it's very good. But yeah, I'm gonna put it here just because I feel like it's more conditional than not, right? Like, you need to have a bunch of minions to get the full value out of this. And other than that, it's still good. It's like a hero card level, but not the best one. All right, that's it for all Daredevil's cards. So we just ranked all of them on the tier list. Next, we're gonna rank Daredevil's his obligation right here. So we have Sensory Overload. That's a new card here. So his obligation: give to the Matt Murdock player. Force response after his sense upgrade enters play. Take a damage, similar to Magneto here. Where if you use Magneto's hero ability, you take a damage. Basically, if you use Daredevil's hero ability to play sense upgrade, you have to take a damage. As an alter response, you must recover to its card. So, okay, we're going to talk about how I'm going to rank this card here in the tier list. Is how tough of an encounter card is it? Is it a super nasty encounter card, or is it not that bad? And I think it's not that bad because, like, even though his kit revolves around the sense cards, you don't actually need to play them. And you can recover so much. Taking 1 damage is not that bad of a thing. So this will stay in your play area until you get rid of it with the RT response. But I really like response like this because it's not after you exhaust your identity to discard it. It's you can recover to discard it. So if you take a bunch of damage playing a bunch of sense upgrades, you can flip down, recover, heal all that damage that you took with this, and you can and then you can just discard the card. So like that's really nice. It's like not that detrimental at all. I don't think I would mind getting this card out. And for Daredevil, who has this on-demand confuse here, so this is like strong encounter cards. This is like not that strong encounter cards, and these are weaker encounter cards. I think we're gonna put it under 2, guys. That might be a hot take. I think it's a pretty weak encounter card. I think that I'm hoping to get this card as my encounter card because whenever it's reviewed, it literally does nothing that turn. I have to actually play sense upgrades to take the damage from them. And all I gotta do is flip down, and actually get to recover for 6 with Sister Maggie to get rid of it. Sometimes maybe I even want to recover, right? So not that bad. And then I have easy access to Alt Ego with the Confuser from Nelson and Murdoch. So Daredevil can easily flip down. So yeah, this is a pretty chill obligation to get, which I'm shocked. I kind of wanted a more tough obligation because Daredevil looks like he's gonna be really powerful. All right, next we got Bullseye here. Bullseye is his Nemesis minion. 1 scheme, 3 attack, 5 hit points. Whenever you choose this card persona you control, or Bullseye attacks you even in Alter Ego. With 3 attack and like basically a quick strike on that, that's pretty rough. He's a pretty tough. So comparing him to other like Nemesis minions, I think he's pretty high up there, right? He's gonna be attacking you or discarding persona support. So yeah, we'll put him here in the A tier. Solid, tough minion. Next we got Deadliest Man Alive. That's a side scheme here for Nemesis set. Force interrupt whenever a Bullseye attacks, give him a face down boost card. Doesn't really do anything except for Bullseye. I like how this is similar to the Bullseye villain. And then we got a Amplify icon here. The thing is not that bad, but 5 threat. So like this is, if you're playing 2 players or more, this is worse. If you're playing solo, or sorry, 2 players or more, it's easier to deal with. And if you're playing true solo, it's worse because it's 5 threat true solo. So I would say Conquer Bullseye. Let's average it out. I think in true solo it's probably like here, but I think averaging it out for multiplayer as well, we'll put it down here in the It's still not a bad card, but it definitely underscales the more players that you're doing, right? Because for 4 players, a normal side scheme for your Nemesis set is 12 threat, 3 per player. It's only 5, so you can easily just get rid of it. And Force Interrupt's like not the worst thing in the world. Just giving Bullseye villainous for attacks. This actually makes Bullseye worse though, because they get reviewed at the same time, right? So whenever he's reviewed, he's going to attack you. But you can just choose this one. So I think it keeps the same. You can just choose this card Persona Support, which isn't great, But you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. All right, next we got Eye on the target, a treachery from the Bullseye Nemesis set, or Daredevil Nemesis, I mean. When reviewed, remove an ally or persona support you control from the game. That's terrible to remove from the game, or Bullseye attacks you even in alter ego. If he's not in play, you find review him, and he will still attack you because his one reviewed is to attack you. So yeah, to get a minion that also attacks and is like a bad minion is bad, and removing this an ally or persona from the game is bad. This is pretty bad. We'll put this. Is this better than Bullseye? Is this like more tough than Bullseye, or not as bad as Bullseye? It's tough. If Bullseye attack, because if you pick this effect, it's the same as Bullseye. This, you have the option to not get Bullseye. You have the option to not get him. So you know what? It's not. It's easier to deal with than Bullseye. Bullseye is more tough because when Bullseye's coming out, you have options, but you're getting him for sure. This, you can choose this one if this one is like, for some reason you're okay like removing Karen Page from the game and having Bullseye kill her, or you know, spoilers, having him kill Foggy. So yeah, if you're okay with him just killing Foggy, you just pick the first one, I guess. But usually removing ally, I think, might be better than your persona supports. But yeah, I love that they are removing persona supports from the game here with the flair of these Bullseye cards. Next, we got the Stolen Sai. Attached to enemy with the highest attack, so probably going to go on villain most of the time. The character's attacks gain piercing. Here, actions spend 2 physicals, and you can attach this card to Electra or discard it. Oh, that's really cool to have it attached to Electra. Your ally, your identity-specific ally right here. So yeah, and activation's attack gains piercing. Luckily, Daredevil doesn't really care about piercing, so it's not that bad for him. Really bad for Colossus, though. This card, I'm going to put... It's not a card that I'm too worried about revealing, so I'm going to put it here in the C tier. And like, honestly, to get this on Electra, it might be even like chill to reveal, right? To give essentially the villain piercing, because the villain will usually have the highest attack and +1 attack. Not too bad. You can get rid of a 2 physical resource though. So yeah, I'm actually putting it under tune. I think it's an easy card to deal with. I want the card to come out. And if I have Electra, like, this is a great card to give her +1 attack, which is really nice to go on your ally Electra, but also might go on like if we potentially get like an evil Electra at some point as a minion or something like later on if you're an evil. So yeah, cool card for sure. All right, next we're moving on to Echo here. Okay, so Echo, 2/2/2. She's got that elusive stat line there, so at least going on here. I think she's better than Daredevil's hero card because she has an ability here. Watch and learn as a response after you play an aspect or basic event. You can tuck the event here from discard pile. Then there's more than 3 tuck cards. You discard all but 3 of them. You know what? She'll go under Daredevil, I think, because it's essentially like because I thought about evaluating like her tuck cards with this, but it's gonna be with her photographic reflexes where we get the value from her tuck cards, right? Like we can't rate that card high and also rate Echo high, right? Echo is just doing her thing. She has no +1. Her ability is essentially what she's going to be doing anyways. Is not giving her like inherent benefit, right? You get to tuck cards, but tuck cards don't give you like anything else, right? Well, it like unleash your whole kit. So it gives you a lot, but it's not giving you like a +1 like card draw or anything, you know what I mean? Right whenever you're doing only this, right? And she has 9 hit points, which is under average. So I think that's fair to put her here. I'm actually, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, because like, this is hard to do tier list because we're evaluating this like compared to all these other cards here, but she's like strictly worse than Daredevil because of the less hit points, and then the ability is just unleashing her kit, and Daredevil's ability is just unleashing his kit as well. So that in the same stat line. You know, she still goes on top of the B tier because she has a good stat line there with the 2/2/2. All right, next we're gonna look at the alter ego side of her. 3 recovery, which is good. 6 hand size, good. These are all average. 9 hit points is under average. And as interrupt though, when you change the hero form, search your deck for an aspect or basic event, add to your hand. This is good. So I think that this outbalances this, right? Like, I'd rather have this ability in alter ego than have 10 hit points instead of 9. So she goes in front of Matt Murdock, which essentially has no ability in alter ego. So that's good. We can put her up a little bit. Is the alter ego there better than the hero form? I think it is. I think it is. I think it's better than Daredevil as well. Yeah, we can put her alter ego here. So like, she goes in the tippy top of B tier. She is like basically what you want to see in an alter ego. It's like very advantageous because you get the +1, right? So in the start of the game, when you change your hero form, you get to add, you know, an extra card to your hand. having 6+1, 7 cards in hand, which is really good. The reason why she doesn't go into A tier for me is because if we look at like a hero like Cyclops, who can just use an action instead of interrupt, he gets that to his hand, like a tactic upgrade, every single time. So if he's flipping down from hero to alter ego form, he can get that +1 to his hand and then play an ally in alter ego. And Maya Lopez can't do that. So that's what I would want from like an A tier ability. She doesn't necessarily have that, so she goes here in the B tier. And Cyclops can include, XMLs from any aspect in his deck, so he's probably a S tier, S tier alter ego. But yeah, I mean, Maya Lopez here, definitely really good. Tippy top of what we want from like a average hero card, but not quite there to match all the other heroes that give you like a strict +1. Not only when you're flipping from alter ego to hero form. We want that anytime you're in alter ego, you get the +1. That is going to be a little bit more valuable. All right, next we're going to look at American Sign Language. So 2-cost upgrade, hero resource is her resource generator. Exhausts this card to generate a water resource for an event being played by any player, so only for an event. This card in multiplayer, probably tippy top of the B tier. In true solo, maybe in the bottom. But I'll put it in front of like the encounter cards that we have here. But yeah, I mean, it's good for Echo because, she's all about events, but like 2-cost upgrade for an event. Like we have Captain America Super Soul Serum, 2-cost upgrade for a physical resource for like any card that's really good. So this is like, more restrictive. So it is going to be in your hero card level though, right? Right? Or is it going to be... No, yeah, it is. Because I think something like Death Focus is like above your regular aspect card level, right? Same like Helicure and stuff like that. Because you don't really have resource generators and like universal resource generators in every single aspect. But essentially this isn't universal. So it's going to go in the bottom of the hero cards for me. I don't think it's that strong a card. I think it can be fun to give that for your friends, but not amazing in terms of strength, especially in true solo. True solo I might even, yeah, but let's put it here behind Matt Murdock. All right, next card here for Echo, we have the Daredevil Identity-Specific Ally. 3-cost ally, 2-door, 2-attack, 3 hit points, defender, martial artist. Response, after Daredevil uses the basic power, reduce the cost of next event you play around by 1. Okay, he's pretty good. He has a very good stat line, both 2-door and 2-attack. That's really nice to see. I think he is... See, this is your average hero card. He's above that, because he is helping you pay for stuff more easily. So he's going to go above that. And then spin above superpower training. And then I think it's really good, actually. Like, he's essentially a 2-cost ally, right? Because you're probably going to play an event after you play him. And you get more value each time he activates. For a 2-2 stat line, he can activate 3 times. He goes pretty high up. I think he goes here. It's crazy that Daredevil goes so high up here. Because like Daredevil's cards are all really high. Echo's cards I don't think are as good. But then her ally Daredevil goes up pretty high. So like I'm thinking like if I have like any hero that I can pick, right? Would I rather have an on-demand ready where I take a damage in the form of an upgrade, or would I want an ally that helps me like reduce the cost of the next card that I play by 1, but like for my hero, right? So for Echo, she wants to do events, so it helps her out with that. And a great stat line, I think the upgrade is more valuable because the ally will lead play. But this is a great ally to Voltron though. Yeah, for sure, a really strong card. That might be one of the best cards in her kit. Next, we got Echo's Katana. 2-cost upgrade is restricted. Hero response attack. After you play an event, exhaust Katana. Do damage to an enemy equal to the event's predicted cost. The attack has piercing. So, I talked about this card before. This card I would prefer if it was like a hero spawns, and hero interrupt. So, where you can do this before you actually play the event, so that you can have the piercing before you play like an attack event. This card is going to be better with a Thwart event. If you're playing like a Thwart event, then you can pierce off the tough, and then you can like do attack events after that. So yeah, definitely not a bad card for sure. It does have to exhaust to use, unlike a Daredevil's Billy Clutch. Like Daredevil's just crazy. You don't have to exhaust for this, but you have to exhaust for this. I mean, yeah, it's like your average hero card level. I don't think it's like above your regular hero card, but definitely a good card. We'll put this here behind Foggy. Definitely a good card though, but not quite like amazing. All right, next we got Improvisation. 3-cost upgrade, pretty expensive here. Hero response after you play an event if it has the following traits: attack event, hero damage, defense event, remove threat from a scheme, door event, deal damage to enemy. So like Cards like this has anti-synergy with her American Sign Language because obviously you can't use a resource generator to generate a resource for improvisation. The Daredevil ally also does not do anything for this, so even though it's 3 costs, it's not an event, so Echo has to pay the full 3 costs for it unless you have like a Helicarrier or something else. This gives you more value every single turn, right? So it's like kind of like a key card for her, but you can build decks where you have like more expensive events that don't where you don't want to like get advantage from this as much, right? So you can choose to build for it or build against it and not play this card. It's essential if you are playing like cheap events with her, right? So yeah, I think it's your classic hero card. It's not bad. It's definitely a good card. I think it goes in front of the identities though. Yeah, but not as good as the katanas because it's so expensive, right? Like if I'm unable to play it, it's a big tempo hit if I do play it. If it is key to my strategy and I have to play it, it's a big tempo hit. So yeah, definitely not a bad card though. All right, next we got Muscle Memory, 2 cost upgrade, hero action exhausts this card, add an event tucked under Echo to your hand. That's a really nice card. It's like essentially a +1. So like this card is almost a better resource generator than like the American Sign Language, right? 2 costs upward to like get an event, tucked under Echo to your hand. Only as a hero action though. At worst, you can spend it as a resource or you can play the event and recur it. So yeah, this card is, wait, sorry guys, I grabbed the wrong card. This card goes here. Now this is the card we're talking about right here. So this card, Muscle Memory, that I'm holding now, goes for sure above this. I like this more than improvisation. I like it's more katana. It's above hero card. I think it's above hero. Yeah, I think this is like really good. This is your like alter ego draw 1 card, but this one, because you can recur the event and play it again. Like you can pick the event that you want for that situation. That's really nice. I think this is like one of her best cards. This will go up pretty high. I like. Oh man, it's close. It's like around this area for me. Karen Page lets you reshuffle a card, but it's like, but you can draw 1 alter ego. I think Karen Page is better. I think Karen Page is better, guys. Yeah, Muscle Memory is a great card, but the difference between Karen Page and choreography, I think is huge. I think that this card like is the difference between those 2 cards. Yeah, because Karen Page, yeah, to be able to always shuffle a Daredevil card into your deck is really good. And then to draw 1 alter ego, this one, you want the aspect cards and events tucked under Echo, not necessarily back into your deck. So I think it's way less valuable to shuffle these back into your deck than it is to tuck underneath the Echo Identity card, right? So yeah, this is still a good card, but not as good as other ones. Okay, here we go. This is Echo's like super good card. It's an event here. If you're in hero form, you can discard photograph reflexes from your hand to play an event tucked under Echo as if it were in your hand. Reduce the cost to play that event by 2. You cannot trigger Echo's watch and learn ability for the event. This card, is it S tier? I think it's S tier. Because, so like, it sucks because the contingency, it's still contingent on you having events under Echo. I think that in multiplayer, it's S tier. In multiplayer, it probably goes maybe like around this sense level, like here or like here, right? Like in multiplayer, it's very, very good because you can tuck cards for free with Echo's ability each time any player plays an aspect card or a basic card. In true solo, you have to tuck the cards manually yourself. And because of that, you have to actually play the card and pay its regular cost before you can photograph or reflex it. So yeah, I think it goes here at the top of A tier, but not quite here because like in true solo, I actually think it's like probably like maybe like here. No, it's better than that. It's like maybe like here or like here. Yeah, but then like averaging out true solo and multiplayer, I think I'll put it at the top of A tier. Because yeah, I mean this is like her main thing to be able to play aspect cards with the cost reduction of 2 makes it a hero card. And some aspect cards are already hero card level. So if you're able to play those aspect cards with a cost reduction of 2, they're way above hero cards, right? So yeah, that's a really good card to be able to play that. And I like that with the cost reduction. And I like that you can use this in the villain phase. And you can do this during other players' turns as well, right? As long as like the time window is correct for the event that you want to play, you can do this as long as you are in hero form. So you can do this with defense events as well, which is really strong. So yeah, very cool card for Echo. That's like her main mechanic there, and I think it's definitely going to be a strong card. All right, so the next card that we got here for Echo is Study the Tape. It's a 0-cost event, tactic traded. As an action, search any player's discard pile, only the discard pile, for one aspect event, a basic event, or a copy of Photograph or Reflex, and add that card to your hand. So like this is really useful because it's better than like Thor events or attack events, because you have that event in your hand. You know, maybe you want the other one, right? Like if there's a side scheme in play, you want the Thor event. If there's an attack or a minion in play, then you want the attack event, right? So this gets you whatever you want, a lot of good versatility. But only in your discard pile. That's like the big thing. If it said your deck or discard pile for any one of these cards, I would just put it straight in front of Photograph Reflex, right? Because it's essentially a Photograph Reflexes, because you can tutor it if that's the one you want. But you also get to pick an aspect event or a basic event if you prefer that instead for this situation. So it would just be better than that. However, it's only your discard pile. So like, I mean, you have 6 copies of Photograph Reflex in your deck, so you probably draw one. But like, let's say on your turn 1, right? On turn 1, you do your mulligans and you don't have Photograph Reflex and you want it for like whatever reason because you want to play it, right? Especially like in a multiplayer game, but you have this card. This won't get you the Photograph Reflexes, right? Like if you're if another player plays an event, you won't be able to Photograph Reflex that event with studied tape. You need the actual Photograph Reflex. So I think Photograph Reflex is still gonna be better at the end of the day. But like if this wasn't discard pile only, like deck or discard pile, it's like easily going here and it'll be really easy for me to evaluate. But since it's only discard pile, I mean, it's not gonna drop it down too much, still giving you a lot of versatility. I would put it here, like in front of the Daredevil ally. Yeah, still a great card to help go round out her kit. You just need stuff in discard pile to get value out of this. All right, next card here. We got Echo's Obligation. So we're going to be evaluating how difficult of an obligation is this to get. So Raised by the Kingpin. Oh, I love this. Okay, give to my Lopez player. You cannot do damage to Kingpin. One of you find Kingpin and put him in play engage with you. So you're not playing the Kingpin scenario, you do have the Kingpin Nemesis minion. So this card essentially always gets this minion out here. And as a response, after you thwart, place that threat here. If there's 4 more threat here, remove this card from the game. So this one you can remove from the game, which is nice. After you thwart, place the threat here. There's 4 more threat here. So whenever you thwart, so you're still able to remove threat from the regular scheme you're thwarting from. You just put the threat on the scheme instead. So you're getting, it's not like replace your thwart with placing threat here, which is good. So you're essentially doing whatever you want to do. And its obligation after it comes in play doesn't really do anything other than the fact that you can't do damage to Kingpin. But that's bad because you do get Kingpin out. So the whole thing is you have to thwart for at least 4. Remove this card from the game. Now you can actually do damage to Kingpin, who came out from this card with the one reviewed here, unless you're playing the Kingpin scenario. And then, so evaluating for that, not that scenario, Kingpin's pretty rough. 3 scheme, 2 attack, 6 hit points. He's a tough minion. He's not elite though, which is kind of weird. Force interrupt. When Kingpin would attack the Maya Lopez player, he schemes instead. So he schemed on you with a scheme with 3. I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's a pretty tough Nemesis. So the fact you can't damage him and he's scheming against you in hero form or alter ego, that's kind of rough. Yeah, so I don't know. It's not the worst thing in the world. You essentially get a minion out, but you have to also thwart to deal with the minion. So it's a little bit worse than just getting one regular minion out, right? So I think we put it in like mid threat difficulty. I think it's more difficult than the Bullseye side scheme, like the Daredevil Nemesis side scheme though. All right, and next we got the Kingpin minion himself. I think he's not as actually bad as Bullseye. He is rough though. The 3 scheme is tough, but like if you can just defeat him when he comes out, it's not gonna be too bad. So I'm gonna put him. Yeah, we're just gonna put the cards here, like because it's hard to evaluate player cards with encounter cards, but this is definitely worse than any of these other encounter cards here. At the same time, I guess technically the obligation is worse, right? Because the obligation has this and Kingpin out, and you can't do damage to Kingpin no matter what when this obligation comes out. So obligation is worse than Kingpin himself. Actually, I'm gonna put it like this. Yeah, the obligation is actually worse than I thought. Because like if I'm ranking Kingpin right here, right, The thing with Kingpin is that if he comes out, he's a tough minion, but he doesn't activate right away. So if he comes out against you, you can just kill him, and then he's fine. He doesn't do anything. But he does have 6 life, so he might be a little bit difficult to defeat. If you get the side scheme or the obligation out, you get Kingpin and you get the side scheme. There's more stuff to deal with, and you probably can't deal with Kingpin in the same turn you get the obligation. So I think I'm wrong with the obligation. Let's put it higher. I think it's actually going to be this level. Not as bad as Bullseye. Bullseye is just terrible because he activates right away, right? So you might take 3 damage right away or do the other effect, which is bad. So I think this is not as bad as this, but still not a great card. All right. Next, we got the Kingpin's Henchman here. 1 scheme, 2 attack, 4 hit points, guard. Kingpin cannot take damage. This card's not bad at all. I know you can't do damage to Kingpin, but like he has guard anyways on whatever minion or whatever villain. So it's like whatever. If you have this in play with Kingpin, it's bad, but the Nemesis set won't reveal all the Nemesis minions from Echo's set in addition to Kingpin himself. So like I think it's not that bad. We're gonna put this in. I think it's under 2. This is like not a bad minion at all. This can actually even help though. I think this is more chill even. This is more chill because like if you don't play your sense upgrades, this is chilling. You know what I mean? So like I think that this is like easy, but these are super easy. So yeah, I think that this is not bad at all. All right. Next we got the side scheme here, Master Manipulator, 2 per player threat. So not a lot of threat there. Kingpin cannot take damage, so we all have that effect. When reviewed, find Kingpin and put him into play, engage with you. Yeah, that's nasty. It comes up by itself. But it comes out with your Nemesis, like with Shadow Pass. It's not that bad. The boost is though, if Kingpin is in play, you review the scheme. So, it's not that bad of a side scheme by itself. It's bad if it's one reviewed after the Shadow Pass. So how do we evaluate this card, guys? It's tough because if it comes out with Shadow Pass, you're already getting Kingpin out anyways. So it's only 2 per player threat. Although Kingpin cannot take damage, I think it's pretty undertuned. Like probably like here even. But if you review this card normally, you get Kingpin out, which is pretty bad. You have a side scheme with Kingpin. So like I feel like I'm gonna put it here actually. I'm gonna put it here because like you'll never see this without Kingpin. So yeah, it's essentially worse than Kingpin because you always get Kingpin with it. You Shadow Pass it, I mean it's not that bad, but like you always have Kingpin with it, and you have to clear it off in order to defeat Kingpin. So like I think that's a fair spot for it for the evaluation. All right, next card here. We got the a Treachery here, Pawn of the Kingpin, Treachery. Wherever an alter ego, if Kingpin is in play, he schemes, otherwise card gains Surge. That's not too bad, just surging alter ego, essentially doing nothing. Kingpin scheming is kind of rough, because it's essentially like almost in advance, because Kingpin schemes for 3. So if a villain schemes for 3 in advance, that's like, not bad, but like you don't want that to happen like suddenly in alter ego. So that's not a great effect. But the surging is, fine for whatever the next encounter card is. It's like neutral, I guess. And when reviewed in hero form, do damage to a hero equal to your hero's attack. So like this basically prevents Echo from like building out her attacks and aggression, which I don't know if she wants to do anyway. She's more event focused, so that's fine. But you're probably doing 2 damage to an enemy, right? So it could be really bad if like Hulk reviews this card. If like you're playing Hulk and Echo, and then you get Shadow Pass, this shuffle into your counter deck, and Hulk reviews this, and Hulk builds out his attacks out to like, let's say like, I don't know. Maybe Hulk won't be building out his attacks out that much. Let's say you're playing Wonder Man and you build his attacks out to like, 8. Then when you review this, you got to do damage to hero because your hero's attack. That's tough. So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of rare though. So I think the advance is rough. Hero form is not as bad. And alter ego, if Kingpin is in play, it's rough. Otherwise, not as bad. We'll just put it here in the B tier. Just kind of like a solid even pew card. Let's put it in front of the Daredevil card. All right. Next we have these cards have already been reviewed. They're Justice cards that we've already seen that will be out in Fear and Evil. Blind Spot, we already talked about her before, but 4 cost ally, 2 Thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Genius, Martial Artist. Response after Blind Spot Thwarts, confuse the enemy with an upgrade attached. It's nice. Good for Daredevil, not as good for other cards. So like it's probably gonna be like a regular aspect card level because it's like niche. It's like for Daredevil. Okay, for Daredevil, it's here or here, like low A or like high B. For regular heroes, probably like it's probably undertuned, to be honest. Yeah, for regular heroes is undertuned. So averaging all that out with the upgrade stuff, I'm gonna put it here. I think it's a good spot. Yeah. All right. Next we got Cloak. We got Cloak and Dagger here. I think Cloak is better than Dagger. I think Cloak is a good Like, I think Cloak is on a level of a hero card. We'll put him at the bottom here of the hero card stuff. Yeah, there's just less synergies and justice with the acceleration icon. But having ally that does not take console damage, that could throw for 2 every single turn is good. And then, yeah, it's hard because, like, I want to evaluate them together, but separately they're not as good. Yeah, but you can exhaust Cloak. You know what? We have to evaluate them kind of together, right? I don't know. Yeah, you find Dagger, you put in your play if you have Cloak, so Cloak can actually tutor her, which is pretty good. I think that is a good spot for like hero card strength. So and then Dagger here. If you get her, she cannot summon up Cloak, and she has by herself three cost, 3 hit points, 1 threat, 2 attack, but 2 constant damage for either activation. And if Cloak is in play, she gets -1 constant damage after she uses basic power. So just like a stat stick either way, and not really a great stat stick, she just enhances Cloak, making Cloak a lot better when she's in play, taking up an ally spot. So like she is like she's undertuned. She's undertuned for me. I like even that side skip upgrade better than her. So like, because we're valuing her by herself here, she's a 3 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points, which is decent statted, except double cost for damage for either activation. That's poorly statted. So she's undertuned because of that. And then like, yeah, I mean, with Cloak, she becomes better because then she's like your regular aspect card with Cloak in play. And with making Cloak lose its acceleration icon, she'll probably be like maybe hero like bottom of here. But yeah, we're gonna put her here. She's not good by herself. You definitely, if you're playing Dagger, you gotta have Cloak in your deck. I'll say that. You have to have them both. And if you have them both in your deck, they probably go both in like the hero card level, maybe like in the bottom of the hero card tier. Yeah. Next we got a Justice player side scheme here with 4 threat. It does not scale per player. De-escalation, victory 0, so it gets removed in the game whenever it's defeated. When defeated, we remove an acceleration token from play. This card is insanely good in multiplayer. In multiplayer, it's probably here in multiplayer because it doesn't even scale and get rid of acceleration for everybody. Really nice, and acceleration come out more quickly in multiplayer anyways. In true solo, they're worse, but to be removed one's still pretty good. So like, I don't know. So if you remove it from play, that's kind of game changing for 4 threat. 4 threat's a little bit harder in true solo. I think it's like a regular aspect card level. Yeah, I think it's about here. Yeah, solid card. Like there's good situations for it, and sometimes where it's not going to be as good. Like if you don't have the acceleration token, right? But if you have it in play and it's like hurting you a lot, like against Ronin, here it adds 2 threat every single turn. Like in true solo, this will make it 3. So like being able to remove it is nice. So it is a useful card. Sometimes it'll be a lot better. Sometimes it's not going to be as good. Next we got Know Your Enemy. We've already seen this card as well. 1 cost event, discount 1 if you're a martial artist. It's a 0 cost thwart event. Hero action thwart, remove 1 thwart from a scheme, remove 1 thwart from another scheme. So like evaluating this, oh man, for martial artists, I'll put it here. Yeah, for martial artists, I put it here. Not as good as stick. For non-martial artists, it's unplayable. Like if you're not martial artists, for 1 cost to do 1 threat, like here, right? So like, yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. I'm gonna just end up putting it for martial artists. So I'll put it right here, like considering for a martial artist, like a 0 cost event to take 2 threat, but the best way to take off 2 threat, which is like 1 and 1, which is very good. So yeah, it's your regular aspect card level, for martial artists. Yeah. All right. Next card we got Self-Training, 2 cost upgrade, play under any player's control and max 1 per player. As a response, after you thwart an exactly defeated side scheme, exhaust this card to stun enemy. So this is like the big justice card that's really going to change the game for you, especially for martial artists, because you want to focus around that with like cards like Know Your Enemy. And to have an on-demand stun after you can exactly clear off side schemes, that's very good. That is a very good card. We're going to put this here. Is it above hero cards? It's minimum B tier. Okay, let's think about this compared to like these cards here, like Chance Encounter. After you thwart exactly, because this isn't played forever, it's not temporary. I like that a lot. I'll put it, I think it's very good. It's like a whole new archetype for Justice, like a stunning archetype. Thing is, okay, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. I think the caveat is that if the enemy is stalwart, like Thanos, obviously this is like completely useless. But I think that for most scenarios, and even for steady, this card's not bad to have on-demand stun. You can plan out against a steady enemy, get one stun, wait a few turns, get the other stun. So yeah, solid card here. I think it's above most hero cards. I think any hero would love to have this card in their kit. It's a very solid card. The only reason that I don't put it higher is because it's only good for stats, right? If the enemy cannot be stunned for whatever reason, like if Magneto has like Magneto's armor, he can't be stunned. So this card doesn't do anything, right? So it's just contingent on the stats. But other than that, it's a very solid card above hero cards. So A tier is like very, very good here. All right, and then next we got, that's all the Justice cards, Infinite Evil. We're moving on to Protection cards now. Army of one cost event, but you increase the cost to play this card by 1 for each ally you control. Simply, hero action, ready up your hero. Where is it? Very good card. Very good card. I think that even if you're playing a deck with allies, just have the allies die before you play this card. So like if it said like you cannot include this card in your deck unless you have no allies, that will make it worse. But you can include it and you can still have a bunch of allies, just make sure they're all dead. Chump block with them and then play this for 1 cost ready in protection. That's really good, guys. 1 cost ready is really good. We're gonna put this card. It is an event though, so I scale events a little bit lower than this stuff, but 1 cost ready is really, really good. So like consider this like a limitless stamina almost. I think we put it here. I think the Alter Ego card with the draw one is nicer. Yeah, the other effect from this is not as good, but the draw one is pretty good. Yeah, this is a really good card. It's definitely above most hero cards. It's a very good card that anyone would love to have. All right, next we got Get Their Attention. Okay, this is a card that I'm not a big fan of in protection. 2 cost event, defense and thwart. I like that it has that. But here interrupt, defense, thwart. When enemy initiates an attack, remove threat from a scheme. So you're thwarting basically during the villain phase. It's like more proactive, I guess, right? Like less, like you get to remove the initial threat immediately from like main schemes or whatever. But it's only whenever the enemy initiates an attack. It's at the end of the day, it's 2 for 3 threat removal, which isn't crazy. It can proc some perfect defense stuff if you're also having like a tough stats card because you are considered defending when you're playing this. But yeah, not my favorite card. We'll put this. It's definitely like your regular aspect card. Bottom of the C tier there. All right, next we got In Harm's Way. Okay, this card is weird. It scales. Increase the cost to play this card by 1 for each ally you control, so you want to have no allies in play when playing this, similar to the Army of 1. Here, actually attack and thwart, do X damage to enemy, and remove extra from a scheme where X equal to your defense. If you build out your defense stat, which you have a ton of ways to do that in Fear No Evil, this can be crazy bonkers good. I think as long as this gets to like, if you get this to like 4 defense, that's already not bad. If you have like a 3 defense hero and you play play like an armor vest to get it +1 more defense, go up to 4 defense, this is already decent. Any more than that, it can be really good. So like if you get your defense like to like I think Nightcrawler can get up to like 12 or 13 defense now with like the symbiote suit too and all the +1 defenses. If you play this 3 cost event to do 13 damage and 13 threat removal, I mean obviously it's like probably the best card in the game. Probably like all the way up here in S tier. But other than that, I think that it is a solid card. You have to build around it. So I'll put it here at the top of C tier. It's your regular aspect card. It is a very high ceiling, but your whole deck has to be built around it, and you need to build it out. So if you draw this on turn 1, it's not going to be like very good. It might be decent if you have like 4th defense on turn 1, but like you're going to need more turns to really get more value out of it. So yeah, it's a good aspect card here. So definitely go in this like regular aspect card level, but you can build it up to be much better than that. Okay. Next, we got the next protection card is we got Innate Reflexes. Oh man, okay. 1 cost upgrade, get +1 defense. So basically the armor vest. It has no resource icon, so you can never spend it as a resource. But the starting thing is nice. So you can add this card to your hand before you do your mulligans. It's a good card, guys. This is a good card. So I think just the starting keyword makes it good. It's above hero cards because to have like a +1 defense unleashes whatever you need the defense for, right? Like for the In Harm's Way, if you need defense for that, this helps you unleash that. It's hard to evaluate with these other cards here. So like, it's kind of like how essential is this to a hero's kit? The +1 defense. I think, but the thing is the +1 defense, it's good. it's not a game changer, right? The actual, yeah, I'm actually gonna put this underneath superpower training, because superpower training by itself can sway the game. Inner reflexes is so good to get on turn one, but it's not gonna have that impact. The +1 defense is not the impact to like sway the game, but it's an essential card for many builds. If you're playing like a perfect defense, like a type of deck, it's essential. So yeah, I think starting makes it that good to get it in your hand, no matter what. I think that makes it better than armor vest, because you want to be investing on your defense on turn one most of the time, anyways. If you're playing a defense-oriented deck, so yeah, very good card starting. It's basically just this, making it so high. That's just good consistency. It's like Cable with his Soldier X RT ability to start the game in play with any sizing that you want. That's just like super duper good. Next we got Powerful Punch, a reprint here with Luke Cage on the art. So this card, just a reprint Powerful Punch. Is your regular aspect card. It's not anything crazy. I do like this card a lot though. I think I'll put it right here. What's nice is that when you play this card, you are considered attacking and defending because it has both the attack and the defense words there. So it unleashes like perfect defense. If you have like a tough stats card, it counts you defending for whatever you need to defend against. 2 costs for 4 damage with the defense keyword there is not bad. Not a bad card at all. Definitely just like a solid aspect card. Next, we have the Ronin title card here. 1 cost upgrade. While you do not control any allies, your hero gets +1 defense and retire 1. So, yeah. This is nice. I think it's better than Armor Vest because if you're getting your defense anyways, you probably don't want to have allies late game anyways, and you get a retire 1 on top of that. So I think it's a solid card. Is it your regular aspect card? I think it is still your regular aspect card, but tippy top of that. I don't think it quite makes it to your hero card. Because like hero cards might give you like +1 to like better stats, right? If you compare it to like Nightcrawler's Kurt's Cutlasses, and that's way better. It's 2 costs for that upgrade, but you get +1 defense, and you get like +1 attack. You just get more out of that card from this. Although this card is cheaper. Yeah, but you get retaliate 1 from that as well. Like it's comparable, but like the fact that you cannot control allies, right, to get the effect off of this, I think the cutlasses are strictly better, but definitely the top of like aspect cards. Next, we got the best offense, 1 cost upgrade. It's temporary. Your hero gets +1 defense and gets to use your defense in place of your thwart and attack. This does not look like it's optional, so you have to use your thwart. You have to use your defense stat. But like if you're playing a deck in protection and you get +1 defense, you probably have higher defense in your thwart and attack. It's temporary, so only for 1 round, but you can play 3 of them in play because it's not maximum 1 per player. So like yeah, you can really build up with this. I think this card is also just a regular aspect card because you really need to build around it. But I think that it has good uses a lot of times, right? If you are a 3 defense hero like Spider-Man, you play this card, you now have 4 defense, you can throw for 4 or attack for 4, right? That's good versatility. If you build defense even more, it goes even higher, right? So definitely a solid card. Lastly, we got the last 2 cards here, which are the 2 team up cards or basic cards that we've already seen. This is a 0 cost upgrade team up for Daredevil and Elektra attached to any enemy. Hero action attack, discard this card, and then do 3 damage to attached enemy. So nice to give Daredevil more upgrade attachments and Amplify here, which is not great. But yeah, I would say this is like not your best team up card, but just like good damage is like decent. So definitely gonna go in your regular aspect card level. You can really make the case where this goes. I think I'll put it. We'll just put it here. And then lastly, the last team card that we've already seen with Echo is 2 cost event, See No Evil, Hear No Evil is a team with Daredevil and Echo. Attack and thwart here. Hero action, choose 2 of the following. You may choose the same option twice. Do 3 damage to enemy or move 3 from a scheme. 2 cost event, you know, good for Echo to be able to do this. It's a lot of board impact for just 2 costs, but very simple there, not anything crazy. It's really good for Echo because it's attack and thwart, so you can trigger your improvisation upgrade. It's not this one. I keep looking at this one. It's going to be this upgrade right here because all the effects that you get from attacking and thwarting, you get that from this because it's a multi, attack and thwart event. So yeah, not bad. Nothing crazy though. I think we put this there. Yeah, no, there because this has the amplify icon. So yeah. All right, guys. That is it. We just ranked every single card in Fear No Evil. Holy cow. Okay, this is every single player card in Fear No Evil. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree. I think it's kind of weird to try to do this. We're kind of just like summarizing everything because like obviously we have player cards. We have some encounter cards here with the Nemesis sets. We have like basic cards, aspect cards. I think this makes sense. Most of the aspect cards here are in the C tier, which is like your regular curve for aspect cards. And some aspect cards are like way better. Like the Armor 1, I think that card's really good. I think, yeah, Daredevil, yeah, he's got a bunch of good S tier cards here, and he's got the Billy Clubs as like the nonsense S tier card. This card's so close to being S tier, but I think it's just going to be A tier here because you have to take damage. Echo's got some good cards here as well. Yeah, I think, yeah, in general, Echo and Daredevil, all their cards are B tier or higher, in my opinion. They all have really solid cards. No, like, bad cards, which is crazy to see, guys. But yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys all like this one. Let me know down in comments what you'd agree with and what you disagree with. If you made it this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys are hyped for Fear and Evil, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.